As you highlighted in your paper for the CIS on the consequences of all of this, I mean, one of the things is that you've got a company. Firstly, you've got companies that deserve to live competing with companies that really should be out of business, and so you've got the inefficient allocation of resources. But you've also got the worry that good companies, good inverted commas companies, are in good faith trading with zombie companies, and they're extending them trading terms. But when the music stops, you're going to have this contagion effect. But is the music going to stop?
Well, no, and well, look, this is the great issue, I think, right now, because Japan and Europe, the music hasn't stopped, as I alluded to before. And they have, they're not really capitalist economies. They're social democracies where the government has quite a heavy hand to play in an otherwise free market economy. But one of the standout features of countries like the United States, the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, I presume, is that we do have a capitalism where our banking system does face up to its problems, and we do sort of, clean up balance sheets periodically, usually through recession. So really, we're at a fascinating point in our history here, because whether Japan and Europe keep along this path is one thing, but now that these other countries look to be flirting with this path of sort of reducing the vibrancy of the market system through basically short-circuiting the bankruptcy mechanism, is that going to be resisted? And I don't know the answer. I mean, I think in the United States, it'd be hard to see them continue down this path. But the history is, once you get into this, and the thing is, it locks you into a lower growth world, is my view. Is that I can show you a chart, but the loss of insolvency, the loss of that capital turnover, means you lose productivity and you lose growth. Yeah. And I think there's a whole lot of social issues. You lose real wage growth, you lose living standard improvements. But this is a long-term view of some measures of productivity here in Australia. And you can see that between 1980 and 2010, there's been a characteristic change. Productivity growth has become less volatile, but it was all pretty steady between 1.5 and 2, or however you want to measure it. And in the last 5 or 6 years in particular, it's halved. And all the other measures of productivity around the world are telling you the same thing. So you sort of lock yourself in a lower growth world. And, I don't know how sustainable that is in cultures, particularly in places like America.